雨も切れたに参加してくれてますね。他の国とは違うユニークな体験ができて。
Actually, being here, I've had to change completely the way in which I normally share these teachings.
普段バッキョガについてお話しする内容もやっぱり日本ではちょっと違う内容になってます。
Because 50% of what I normally talk about, Japanese people are already following.
自分がいつも話していることの半分くらいはもう日本人の皆さんは普段されていること
importance of humility, tolerance, respect.
私は尊敬したりとか謙虚に振る舞うことなどはもう日本人の方が自然に持ってらっしゃる
Harmony.
自然とか周りと調和すること
And the main thing, which is so incredible for me to see, the main point is the spirit of service and dedication.
でも特に気がついたのは日本人の方が他者に奉仕すること他の人のためにやってあげるとかおもてなしをするとかそういう心をすごく感じています
On my very first day, I landed into Osaka Kansai Airport, and on the first day when I was coming out the airport on one of the trains, there was a building, and it had in English in big letters, "We serve." I don't know what the context was. I don't know what kind of place it was, but it had there big. Maybe it's a thing here. I don't know.
関西空港から降りて電車に乗るときに英語で看板で「We serve」私たちは中に使います奉仕しますというふうに結構書いてありました。
We serve beer.
What did you say?
We serve beer here.
ビールビールあります。ビールをサーブしますっていうサインだったかも。Don't translate that.
But that's been my experience. There's a deep spirit of service to others and dedication and duty.
日本では義務の精神とか思いやりとかもてなしの心がすごく根付いているなと。
If I'm in America, then I'll speak a lot about, the importance of the spirit of dedication versus selfishness, and that's a relevant talking point. Like everybody appreciates that. Yeah, let's change the conversation. We want to become giving units, not taking units. That means something there. But if I say that here, everyone's like, okay, yeah, we know.
アメリカでは人からもらったり自分が利益を得ようっていうに対して他者に奉仕しようっていう精神を2つを比べて奉仕の精神の大切さをお話ししたりするんですけどここではもう皆さんそんなこと言わなくても十分してらっしゃるので、その話はなんか
And I feel very close in heart to the Japanese mood, the Japanese spirit.
日本人の方や日本での経験にすごく親しみを感じています。
And I appreciate also very much seeing the Shinto culture, the religion here. We've been visiting different shrines.
神社なども巡って京都神道にも興味を持っています。
And I feel that I really feel, and my brain and my heart are both in sync here, that we're all going in the same direction. We're all approaching the same thing.
日本の神道もバクティヨガも同じものに向かって探求しているんだなと思います。
And the only thing that then if I'm looking at myself and saying, well, what do I have to offer here? That's my question. What do I have? Already they've got everything here. What do I have to
日本の皆
give?
さんすでにたくさん良い質を持っていらっしゃるので自分は何をすることが何を話したらいいんだろうというのをいつも考えています。
Then I will say what I feel is that I spent some time living in India and I had a very great Indian guru, master, Srila Govinda Maharaj's pictures here. And by his grace, I can say, I can share a little information.
こちらの写真もあるゴビンダ先生と一緒にインドで長く過ごしたので先生からいただいたものをシェアできたのかと思います。
We have a little more detail.
大体その大まかな精神は皆さん持ってるけど詳しいところを話したいなと思います。
The information given in the ancient scriptures of India, the Vedas, are very detailed. They give a zoomed up view of what we're all approaching.
インドの 古代経典レーダーはすごく詳しくいろんなことを詳細に書いてあります。
So I've been very inspired to see at these Shinto shrines that the altars are actually there are altars, but there's nobody exactly on the altar. But everyone has the spirit of offering. So you see people make offerings of water, food, flowers, right?
神道の神社とご神像みたいなのは見当たらないんですけど、皆さん捧げ物をしているのを見かけました。
So who's on the altar? The Vedas are telling us that. Who is that divine entity?
レーダーでは誰を祀るべきなのか、神聖とはどんな存在なのかというのを詳しく話しています。
We're all approaching the same divine being.
神聖なものに向かって対峙しているのは同じ。
So the Vedas explain that there are different phases in which the absolute, the divine, manifests himself.
神聖な存在がそれ自身を私たちに見せてくれる、権限するの異なるフェーズがある、段階があるとフェーズには書いてあります。
And there is one expression of the divinity of the absolute known as Brahman, which is formless, has no form, but manifests as a great light consciousness.
神聖な存在の一つの現れ方がブランマーという存在で、形がない、
formless light consciousness.
光だったり意識のような存在。
Which everything is floating within this Brahman, this divine consciousness.
存在するすべてのものがこの神聖な意識のブランマーというの中に漂っているような状態です。
And many persons feel this especially when they're connected with nature.
例えば自然の中にいて自然となんかつながりを感じる、その時に感じるものがブランマーに近い。
And we see in the Shinto religion like that there's this deep respect, reverence for the natural world. It's very wonderful to see.
神道もすごく自然に敬意を払っているのが素晴らしいです。
So really, you can think of this as like say you are approaching. Let's say there's a jungle, right? And from a distance, it looks one way, but when you come in closer, it looks a different way.
例えばジャングルがあったとして、ジャングルを外から見た時と中に入って見た時とは見方が全く違います。
It is like when you're in an airplane, right? When you see below,
飛行機に乗って上から下を見てる。
and you'll just see like a mass of buildings, right? Just looks like Lego. Is Lego Japanese? I bet you see. I'm finding out that everything is actually Japanese. Even 7-Eleven is
最
Japanese.
近セブンイレブンも実は日本人が所有してるっていうのを。
I'm starting to understand that Japan is the secret superpower of the world. Like literally. Is Lego really Japanese? I was just guessing.
レゴ本当に日本の。
It's what?
It's popular.
It's popular in Japan. Like seriously, it seems like everything comes
なんで日本から来てるんじゃないかと思い始めた。
So when you're in the airplane in the sky, right, you look down and you'll just see a big forest. It just looks like a big massive green.
大きな森があったとしても、飛行機の上から見たら、ただなんか緑の塊が見える。
And in big neighborhoods, right? They'll just look like Lego blocks, big blocks of white, brown, red.
その街高い建物とかも上から見たら小さなレゴみたいな。
And then if you come in closer, then you see more detail.
もっと近くに近づいてみたら、
So that big green mass just looked like a, like green paint. You go in and you find that there are so many specific plants, there are birds, there are so many different animals in there, right? There's a whole ecosystem going on.
緑の塊に上から見えたのが、その中に入って近くに見てきたら、いろんな植物の種類がたくさんあって、生き物もたくさん住んでいる。それが分かった。
There will be thousands, if not millions, of different life forms going on.
何千何百本のさまざまな生命体が住んでいる。
And there's communication and relationships going on in so many different ways, in so many different levels.
それぞれが互いにコミュニケーションしたり関係性があって、いろんなレベルでつながっている。
It's a very, there's a lot of very intricate systems and movement that are going on inside that forest.
その森の中で複雑な
systems and movements
や活動があります。
But when looking from a distance, it just looks like a big massive green.
でも外側から見たらただの緑の塊にしか見えません。
So according to the knowledge of the Veda, the nature of the absolute, the divinity is also like that.
ベーダによると、神聖な存在のもそのような感じです。
If you're standing at a particular distance, then you're seeing a mass of light.
遠くから見たらただ光が見えるだけです。
There's one expression in the Vedas our Guru Srila Govinda Maharaj liked to quote, Jyotir Abhyantade Rupam Atulam Shama Sundaram. Means beyond that great white light, you will find that beautiful Lord, Krishna.
先生が経典から話されていたサンスクリットの経典にも出たんですけど、光の先には
that beyond that great white light, there is that beautiful dark Lord Krishna.
その大きな光の先にはクリシュナ神っていうクリシュナという肌の黒い神様がいます。
We actually see this great, formless entity, divine entity that many are connecting to as the effulgence of the person, the personality of divinity, whom we worship as Krishna. That this great light consciousness formless being who many connect with, sorry, it was too long. That many are connecting with this manifestation of divinity, this great formless light consciousness.
多くの人が大いなる存在をふんわりした光とか意識とかいう存在を感じたことはあると思います。
But we are seeing that as the effulgence, as the light that is coming from the divine form, personality.
でも私たちはその光というのは人格を持った神様、姿のある神様から放たれている光というふうに考えます。
So the Vedas describe that the divine being, divine entity, the absolute, appears in three main manifestations.
ベーダでは神聖さは3つの姿で現れると言っています。
And this is what is so wonderful about the Vedic knowledge, that it is so detailed and it is accommodating many different perspectives.
ベーダのいいところはすごい細かいことまで書いてあるし、いろんな見方、たくさんの見方を相対的にまとめてくれているところです。
We see that every religion, every spiritual path, it gives a particular perspective, a particular angle of vision.
すべての宗教とか精神的修行がそれぞれの見方を持っています。
And sometimes that can lead to some conflict, right? That persons will debate, oh, it is like this, others say, no, it is like that.
なんかいろんな考え方の違いでいやそうじゃない、これはこうだっていうような話になるかもしれません。
But the Vedas, they are, because the information is so comprehensive, so many views can all be accommodated very harmoniously.
でもベーダは全ての考え方を網羅しているので、そしてそれを全て調和させています。
The word Om, some of you I'm sure are familiar with the word Om.
オウムっていう言葉があります。
You know, Om is the original sound vibration of all of the Vedic knowledge.
オウムっていう一つの音は全てのベーダの経典の知識をマニフェステーション。
The Om is the original sound vibration of all of the Vedic knowledge.
全てのベーダの知識の根源にある音の振動のその音です。
It is like a zip file within which everything is contained.
ジップファイルのような。
And one way in which our Guru Srila Sridhar has explained this word, Om, is that it simply means yes. He describes it as a big yes.
先生、シュリダー先生がオウム説明するときにそれはなんかイエス、そうです、肯定の一言だ。
So the Vedas are literally saying yes to everything.
ベーダは全てに対してイエスと言っています。
Everything is true. Everything is valid. Everything. Yes, 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 yes.
全て価値が、全てが真実。
Whatever you want, it's a yes. Whatever you believe, it's a yes.
何を信じている、何を信じてても何を欲しがってても全部そう肯定しています。
There's room for everyone.
で、誰もが自分の居場所というのがあります。
You know, it's been my experience, and I believe it will apply to everything, that every religion, every conception, every spiritual thought you'll find in the world, you can find some source within the Vedic knowledge.
で、どんな
In all the years I've been traveling, meeting people, I've never, people will come and tell me different ideas. I still have not heard anyone tell me anything that's surprising or different. You know, I can make some reference to some knowledge that I've heard in the Vedas.
リシャッカーは、子供の時から結構世界中を回っていろんな人たちとバクティオガーの話をしてますけど、今までいろんな意見とか信仰とかを聞いてきても、ベーダーに全く書かれていない初めて聞くっていうのは何は出会ったことはないです。
However, we also find that there is some gradation.
でもグラデーションっていうのがあります。
We can also say that there is some broader context.
So she's saying it's not all equal. They say yes to everything, but not everything is equally. There's an order to it and a progression.
Exactly.
そうベーダーは全部肯定してますが、その中でも全部が平等というわけではなく、グラデーション、段階っていうのがあります。
It is like, say for example, you have a puzzle, you're making a puzzle, and there are so many parts and pieces of the puzzle, and different beautiful features and images in the puzzle, right?
例えばパズルを作っているんですね。パズルしている。
You say puzzle, huh?
パズル。
Puzzle. Puzzle. You don't know?
困惑する。困惑する。
You know a puzzle, like with different pieces?
A picture.
Yeah, picture puzzle with the pieces, you have to put it together.
Yeah, puzzle.
You say puzzle here?
Yes.
Oh. So you can appreciate, oh, there's a bird over here, there's a tree over here, there's a lake over here, there's a beautiful princess and a prince, right?
なんか鳥がいる、木がいる、プリンセス、姫様、王子様がいるっていうふうになんか絵を合わせてきますよね。
But there's also an overall picture, and there's an overall story that's being painted here.
でも同時に全体の絵とかその絵が表現しているストーリーとかがあると思います。
So we can appreciate the different parts, but what's the main story being told?
各パーツも美しいかもしれないけど、その全体はどんな物語を物語っているのか。
Or you could also say, like, if you're watching a movie, right, and there are so many different scenes in the movie.
でも映画を見ていてもさまざまなシーンがあります。
And if you look at, say you look at one 5-minute clip, then you might say, oh, it's a science fiction movie. Or if you watch another clip, you might say, oh, it's a historical
これ
film.
同じ映画でも5分間切り取って見るところが違かったら、これはなんか SF だ、これはなんかまた違う話だっていうふうに違う考えを持つかもしれません。
But only if you watch the movie as a whole, then you can come to a better conclusion. Oh, actually, it's a romance. Historical romance.
全部見終わったらあ、これはロマンスだとか歴史的な恋物語だっていうのが分かります。
So the Vedic knowledge is like that. It's accommodating many different views, but there's also, as Prabhu said, some order and progression. There's an overall story.
で、ベーダーもいろんな見方を網羅しているんですが、全体のストーリーというのがあります。
So going back to what we were saying about these 3 different expressions of the absolute.
神聖な存在には3つの形があると話していました。
So there is this one aspect, great formless light.
その一つが形のない大きな光っていう存在、プランマ。
And then another manifestation described as paramatma, very tiny expression.
もう一つがパラマートマといってすごく小さい存在、神聖な存在です。
And I heard there's also some conception of this in the Shinto religion. That I heard like there's the belief that even in every grain of rice there is a presence of the divine.
神道にもパラマートマと同じような考えがあると聞いたんですけど、例えばお米の一粒一粒にも神聖さが宿っているっていうふうに。
So this is also the paramatma, the idea of paramatma.
パラマートマっていうのはそういう全ての中にいます。
It is said that this supreme soul, paramatma, is existing in every atom.
全ての原子の中にパラマートマがいる。
And it is said that we are individual souls, right? We are known as Atma. The individual soul is known as Atma, and the supreme soul, the super soul, is known as Paramatma.
私たち個人の自分が持っている魂はアートマと呼ばれています。
So wherever there is Atma, there is also Paramatma.
そのアートマがいるところにはすべてパラマートマも一緒にいます。
And then there is a third manifestation known as Bhagavan.
で、残りも3つ目の存在、神聖の形がバガワンというものです。
So now this is where things become exciting.
ここがちょっと面白くなってくるところです。
This is where things get interesting. This is where our hearts can have some expression and fulfillment.
バガワンっていう存在のために私たちは心のエクスプレッション、心の
Our
表
hearts
現、
can express themselves and experience fulfillment.
心が表現をしたり、満足を感じるということができます。
So this Bhagavan expression is where the divinity appears as a person with whom we can have a relationship.
というのもバガバーンっていうのは神聖さが人格を持った存在として現れて自分その他の魂と関係を持つことができるからです。
In Sanskrit, there is this word rasa.
サンスクリット語でラサという言葉
And rasa, it's a difficult word to translate, but something like the juice, the taste, the joy in life, which we are all seeking.
ラサというのは英語にも訳すのは難しいんですけど、ジュースこう取り出したものですね。絞り出したものとか味わい、あとですね、
The taste, the joy, the ecstasy.
喜びが
In the different types of foods that we, sorry, you didn't
Okay,
finish that. In the different types of foods that we eat.
私のいろんな食べ物を食べますが、
In the different movies that we watch.
いろんな映画を見たりします。
In different, going on holiday, going to climb a mountain, all of these things. We're seeking some particular type of rasa, some particular taste, some particular joy.
休日に山に登ったり、どっか行ったりするのも求めている、こういう体験がしたい、こういう喜びを感じたいっていうのを求めているからだと思います。
In the different relationships that we have.
または人間関係、いろんな人とのつながりの中でも同じようなことが言えます。
Friends, family members, lovers, co-workers.
家族とか、恋人、同僚とか友達ですね。
Sometimes, we will often say, right, everyone's seeking happiness.
よく言うことですが、みんな一人一人が幸せになりたいと思っています。
But I think that's a very general statement. General.
一般的に。
一般的。
I think
普通。
The happiness is
to say that, I think that to say everyone is looking for happiness, that is not completely true.
みんな幸せをそれぞれ求めてるっていうのは、ちょっと違うと思う。
What we are actually seeking, even more than that, is intensity of feeling.
私たち本当に求めているのは、その幸せ以上のもので、すごく強い気持ち、感覚を感じることです。
That's why people enjoy watching scary movies.
だからホラー映画も楽しめるんじゃない。
Sad movies.
悲しい映画。
Heartbreak, stories about heartbreak, things that make you cry.
映画を見て泣いたりとか。
Actually, we like variety. We like to be happy, but there's a part of us that also likes to be sad.
幸せになりたいけど、本当はバラエティーがいろんなことを感じたくて、悲しいっていう感情も感じたい。
There are people who risk their lives like climbing mountains. I've met people like that because they get this adrenaline rush.
例えば危険な山に挑戦して、アドレナリンを感じるのを好きな人がいます。
Some of the saddest people I've met in this world are not the people who are like struggling, money, food, but people who are just bored and empty, meaningless lives. Like that is one of the saddest conditions that you can come across.
一番悲しい状態っていうのは、もう退屈している状態。
It's some of the saddest people I've met. They're not people, not necessarily people who are struggling, just for money and food, but people who just have empty, meaningless lives.
自分が今まであった中で一番悲しいそうと思ったのが、問題困難があって苦しんでるっていう人ではなくて、何もすることがない、何をすればいいかわからないという虚しさを感じている人。
There are many people like that in the world, right? They have comfortable house, comfortable job.
仕事とか家があるのに、そういう人はたくさんいます。
But secretly, they're completely miserable. Their lives are empty.
虚しさを感じている。
And maybe they have a whole, even they have a whole network, of people who they're involved with, but they don't feel like they have any real friends, right? They don't have real heart connections, right?
いろんな人と関わったりしていても、心と心のつながりを感じていないと、そういった虚しさ。
Many people are like that.
そういう人はたくさん会いました。
So what we are actually looking for is intensity of feeling, fulfillment of the heart.
私たちが求めているものは強い感情を体験することで心を満足させること。
And people search, this is why, social media and film industry, gaming, right? People are looking for outside, another reality to tap into, right? Because they're not satisfied by the level of feeling in their current existence.
なのでこの現実だけじゃなくて SNS とかゲームとかどれぐらいのたくさんのらさを受け取れるか、これが大切な問題になってきます。
Is God, is your God a great, formless, unknowable, unfeelable being?
例えば最初に話した意識、光の存在の大きな神様、神聖な存在は
No, this is very wonderful, right? But there's not enough rasa there. We need rasa.
それは素晴らしいけど、でもラサという面ではあまり得ることはできません。
Is your God someone who will give me my daily bread? Is your God someone who will take care of me and give me a house and give me food?
その神様は私たちに、普段の生活を食べていけるようにしてくれているのか。
Right. This is another way in which God appears and is worshipped throughout the world.
そうやって何かを恵んでくれるものとしても神様っていうのは世界中で祀られてますよね。
God the provider, right, who takes care of us.
私たちにいろいろも与えてくれるっていう存在。
The English word Lord, it comes from the word loaf. In Old English, loaf, who gives us loaves of bread, gives us bread. This is intrinsic. It's the idea of who God is, right?
英語では、主ローズっていうふうに神様のことを呼びますが、それはローフっていう言葉から来ていて、パンの一斤のパンのローフから来ている。
So this is also very nice. This is a very nice, wonderful conception, very nice relationship that you can have with divinity.
神様に感謝したりっていうのも一つの神様と関係の持ち方のあり方。
But is that enough?
でもそれで十分でしょうか。
Is that enough to get you out of gaming, to get you out of Netflix? Is that enough?
ゲームとかネットフリックスが必要なくなるぐらいそのつながりは大きいでしょうか。
I don't know. I'm not so sure.
どうでしょう。私にもわかりません。
I think we need more.
でももっと必要なんじゃないでしょうか。もっと欲しい。
The writer Oscar Wilde. I don't know if you've heard of Oscar Wilde. He's a famous Irish writer, actually. But there's one line I like very much, and he says, "All art is quite useless."
オスカー・ワイルドというアイルランド出身の作家が書いているんですけど、すべての芸術は実用性がない。
All art is quite useless. And I like this expression very much.
この表現は私はすごく好きです。
I feel that it expresses very well the nature of the Krishna conception of divinity.
クリシュナっていう人格を持つ神様の考え方にもこれ今の
So think of all these things, right? Beauty, art, love, play.
芸術とかアート、遊びとか考えてみてください。
These are all the things that touch our hearts the most, right?
こういったものが自分の心には一番響いてきますよね。
They compel us. most.
すごく感動をもらえるのもそういった。
You can also say like people who have addictions, right?
いろんな、いろんな中毒とかハマるものもあります。
There's a type of pleasure that comes from those addictions.
それから喜びがも得られるからついハマってしまう。
So these are all things which are useless, right? They don't serve any practical purpose.
でもそうい
There
った
may not also be, there's no logic often.
そういったものすべて実用性というのはあります。
And yet they compel us the most. They entrap us the most. They engage our consciousness, our heart the most.
実用性とか論理的に考えて大切とかではないけどついやってしまうとか惹かれてしまうとか気持ちが動かされる。
So what does this tell us, right? That we need a divinity who is playful, who is loving, who
こ
is
こから
beautiful.
何がわかるかというと私たちが神聖存在に求めるものも遊びが心があるとか美しさが持っている。
There was one Muslim ruler, Akbar, because India was under Muslim rule for a long time, right? There was one ruler, Akbar, who was very favorable to the Hindus.
インドは長い間イスラム教徒によって統治されて政治的に統治されてましたけど一人アクバルっていう王様がしました。
Some of the Muslim rulers, they were very aggressive and violent, but Akbar was very kind and respectful and appreciative of the Hindu culture and religion.
アクバルっていう人は他の統治者と違ってすごく親切でヒンドゥー教徒にも心が広かった。
And so there at one time, there were some persons who put on an exhibition for him, for this king.
ある時誰かがそのアクバル王に対してなんかエキシビションショーなんか展示見せました。
and put on by Hindu persons, and they portrayed many of the Hindu gods, the Hindu deities.
Is it like a theater?
An exhibition. Exhibitions.
Show.
A show.
Okay.
You know, like I would do like the
Art
samurai.
exhibition?
Yeah, like an art exhibition. Yeah.
アートの展示みたいな。で、その中でヒンドゥー教の神様とかも見せたそうです。
Like in the museum you have on display.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So showing different deities. It's mentioned there's how many gods are mentioned? Like 33 million or something like that. The Vedas mention something like 33 million different gods who are in charge of different functions of the universe. Right?
33
Something like that, 33 million.
3300
So they didn't show 33 million.
そんなにたくさん見せたわけではないですけど、いろんなヒンドゥーの神様をその展示で見せました。
But they showed some of the principal ones. And so you see, all of these gods, they have a special instrument that they hold, like showing what their duty is.
それぞれの神様がいろんな楽器を持ったり道具を持ったりして何をするどんな義務とか役割がある神様なのかっていうのは分かるようになっています。
So there is one great god, Ramachandra, for example. He holds a bow and arrow.
例えばラーマチャンドラっていう神様は弓矢
There's Lord Shiva. He holds a trident, another.
シバシはなんか三つ股の蜜を持ってますね。
And what else? Vishnu has a chakra that he holds, Sudarshan chakra.
九州入神はなんかチャクラっていう丸い輪っかの武器なんですけどそれを
And like this, they all learn. They have some special role that they play,
それぞれの
and they
神
all
様
hold a special instrument that
役
they
目があ
use.
って使う道具などを持っています。
And after the exhibition, then some people, they asked this king, Akbar, oh, so who do you think was the best out of all of these gods? Who was your favorite? Who was the best?
展示を見た後に大家がその王様に神様のヒンドゥーの神様のどれが一番素晴らしいと思いますかと質問しました。
Can you bring that picture? Is it too high up? Maybe it's too risky.
Yeah, a little
risky.
risky. Yeah.
We're afraid to touch anything here because there are lots of expensive antiques around.
What do you want?
But there's a picture of
Krishna.
Krishna.
Oh,
over there.
the one I got actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well later
Sunday
on
can
you
get.
can all have a look. There's a picture of Krishna.
Sunday can get it.
It's coming.
Is it coming? Oh, your tongue is tall.
He's
あそ
coming.
こに神様の絵があるので持ってきた。
Okay. So someone asked Akbar, who was the best out of all of these devas, these gods?
アクバル王にどの神様が一番素晴らしいと思いますかと質問しました。
And he said, oh, Krishna is definitely the best.
で、アクバル王はクリシュナが一番だと思うと言われました。
So what is Krishna holding?
クリシュナは何を持っていますか？
Flutes. He's holding the flutes.
フルートを持っています。
So he said Krishna is definitely the best because he's just holding the flutes.
クリシュナはただフルートを持っているだけだから一番だと思います。
So he could understand, right, that someone who's really in charge, they're delegating everything, right? The person at the top, they don't have a particular duty, they have to do 9 to 5.
一番偉い
They're delegating everything.
一番偉い人は9時5時の仕事をしなくてもいいし、そういう自分の役目というのを持ってます。
Like the super wealthy people, they
他の神様はこの宇宙を回していくためにいろんな役目を持っています。
and he is free. He's spending time on the things that really matter.
クリシュナは自分が好きなことだけをやって自由です。
A world of play, a world of beauty, a world of love.
一番価値があるものがその美とか美しさ、愛。What did you say?
He's exploring a finer world, a world beyond utility.
その実用性のないそういった実用性の上にある遊びが。
Once you already have everything, right? Let's say, most of the world is actually just struggling to survive. Most of the world.
世界中のほとんどの人が生きていくためにいろんなしなくちゃいけないことがたくさんあります。
Most of the world is working hard just to be able to live.
生
That
活
takes up a lot of our time.
生活していくために時間もたくさん使って仕事をしたりしています。
But for someone who doesn't have to worry about that, how are they spending their time? So let's say someone has enough money, has everything, that has food, has shelter.
でもお
And
金
how
も
are they going to spend their time?
お金もいろんなものも十分にあってそんな働く必要がない人はどんな風に時間を過ごしているでしょうか。
Then they are going to spend their time exploring a more finer world, beyond just survival. Right? There's a finer plane, a more sophisticated, subtle plane.
その実用性の上のもっとデリケートなデリケートな
A world of feeling, emotion. All right. Literature, poetry, art, they're exploring this world. Music, they're exploring this world.
文学とか音楽、アートなどを楽しんでいます。
So Krishna represents this.
クリシュナはそういったものを象徴しています。
What our innermost hearts, what the most intrinsic part of our being is crying out for, searching after. Krishna represents that.
生活の必要性とかを超えて、もっと心の奥から自分たちが欲しているもの、それがクリシュナが持っているものです。
And we're very fortunate that in this age, this very special practice of kirtan, this chanting, has been given.
特に今の時代にはキルタンという方法があります。
But it's particularly, the Vedas are, as I said, right, the Vedas give so much information and they describe that the world moves in cycles of different ages.
ベイダはいろんなことが書いてあると言いましたけど、その世界がどんなふうに時間が回っているかというのもあります。
And according to the nature of the age and the people in that age, an appropriate practice is prescribed.
それぞれの時代にとって一番適した精神的な精神修養の方法についても書かれています。
And so because this is a difficult age, it's an age of great distraction, pollution, degradation.
今は一番インドの時間はサイクルになってるんですけど、一番良くない時代で、いろんなものが壊れていったり、悪い時代です。
Not so much in Japan.
日本ではそうでもないかもしれませんが。
But then this very simple practice is given.
で、この時代
Parmanan,
に
for you coming back, we'd love to hear a few words from you too.
running away.
で、あまり良くない時代に適した、精神修養の方法っていうのがキルタン。
It's a very, very simple, accessible practice.
とてもシンプルで誰にでもできる
And
動画。
very joyful also.
そして喜びをもたらしてくれます。
And so we're told by this very simple practice, we chant these holy names, then with a little faith, then our hearts will open.
で、神聖な名前を唱えたり歌ったりすることで、そこに自分の信頼を置くことで心が開かれていきます。
We will awaken our soul within and also awaken our natural relationship with the divinity of Krishna.
私たちの中にある魂が目を覚まして、大いなる存在とのつながりを感じるようになっていきます。
This is my simple introduction for today. Very grateful for this opportunity.
今日はこんなバクテヨガの考え方を基本を話させていただきました。
To thank you all for your sympathetic attention.
聞いていただいてありがとう